So I guess that means we're starting with some Alex Jonesy. Here's a clip we haven't played yet. So I've probably played upwards of 50 hours of Alex Jones footage. But I bet this first clip was something that nobody in the chat here had on their bingo card for tonight. Whether it makes you laugh or not, I'm making a wager. I bet nobody had this on their bingo card.
Watch these
for tonight. So we're starting with some Alex Jones. Hope everybody's sitting down for this.
Women start having orgasms when they talk about killing babies. We're going to play video. Women like literally rubbing their legs around. Look, these people. Look.
Who had Alex Jones? Alex Jones impersonating women having orgasms on their bingo card tonight. Was I right or was I wrong about that one? Was I right or wrong about that one? Welcome, ya boy, Pinto Sack, Greater Parrot, Sarah, Catherine, and Sunlight, and Austin MP getting up in here.
Look, these people want to babies. We're going to play video. Women like literally rubbing their legs around. Babies. We're going to play video. Women like literally rubbing their legs around. Look, these people want to rape babies, okay? I mean, it's real simple. They love Satan. They want to kill babies. They've told me this to my face. I go to Democrat events. They walk up and go, I love Satan. I'm going to kill you. Go to Democrat events. They walk up and go, go to Democrat events. They walk up and go, I love Satan. I'm going to kill you. Go to Democrat events. They walk up and go, I love Satan. I'm going to kill you. I kill babies.
Is it just me, or has Alex gotten way less entertaining? I think the last we've seen of just truly top tier Alex Jones was maybe around 2017, which is maybe around what this year is, that this clip is. I don't know the exact year. With some glimmers going through 2018, maybe 2019. That's about it. I don't know if Alex has truly ever returned to this form post-COVID. What does everybody think? I mean, is there anything this thespian can't do? I mean, the thespian level here is just unrivaled in the history of humanity, in my opinion. Pinto Sack says, it's good to watch his Piers Morgan CNN interview once. I love how he just steamrolled the Piers goof. Your boy says, hey Bruce, what's up? Ready for the UFC White House card? Oh, do you guys want to do a live for that one? When is that? When is that? I don't even know when that is. June 14th. That's not that close. Why are you bringing that up now? But yeah, we'll see. We may do a live stream for that entire one. Les Xylophone says the media clipped him with the BS Connecticut defamation suit. He's had moments since then, but I think even before that, I don't remember. I don't know if I remember him being this animated even before that. Austin MP says, yes, it was so fun watching the last one. Well, if the people want it, the people get what they want here. Flap Bob says, that made me crack a smile, at least. Are you talking about the clips here? You talking about these clips? Greater Parrot 3 says, any advice for a possible incoming economic collapse? Yeah, after this clip, well, let me play some more clips here, and then we'll get into some of the more serious stuff, and then we'll play some more entertaining clips.
And you're like, oh, kill you, I kill babies. And you're like, oh, they're just doing that to freak me out. No, we've infiltrated their groups. Watch
Let's do it one more time. It's too funny.
These women start having orgasms when they talk about killing babies. We're going to play video. Women like literally rubbing their legs. Look, these.
I've never seen him do that on air before, and I've watched so many countless hours. I've probably watched thousands of hours of Jones. I've never seen him do that before.
People want to rape babies, okay? I mean, it's real simple. They love Satan. They want to kill babies. They've told me this to my face. I go to Democrat events. They walk up and go, I love Satan. I'm going to kill you. I kill babies. And you're like, oh, they're just doing that to freak me out. No.
I like how, like, the thespianism is so incredible. Like, look, he can, on a dime, he can go from, like, 100 to negative 100. On a dime! I've just never seen this level of thespianism before. Is Alex Jones going to go down as the greatest thespian of all time? I know some of the Greeks are highly regarded. I mean, they pretty much credited with developing thespianism. Can you imagine, again, if the official timeline is true or approximately true, or whatever, people in the past doing theater, open air forum theater, if they got a load of Alex Jones? I mean, how would they even react to a thespian of this level? I mean, the range is unlike anything I think any other thespian has ever seen.
We've infiltrated their groups.
All right, let's do another Alex Jones clip, and then we'll get into some of the more serious questions. I'm not sure I played this clip before either.
West is weak. Your women pigs are ours to carry the sperm of the goblin pig. We rule you. Hala mahela hila. Hila hila.
Maybe I did.
There's no video of President Trump sucking a ding-dong. And so what if there was? That's a lot better than World War III, Owen. I never sucked any ding-dongs. More blood. Sell the baby parts. Arrest the reporters that expose we're keeping babies alive. Eat the hospitals with their bodies. Have the Pepsi taste testing systems be based on fetal tissue. All demonic systems. Genetically engineer all the crops. Overthrow creation. More blood. Wait a minute. You know, that's the wrong site, man. You're on the Groundhog official Puxatawny Phil. That's not her. That's a photo of a groundhog that just got pulled out of a hole. Guys, you know, I asked you to go to the D.C. Council members' website, not to a groundhog website. Like, look at that video down there. That's a groundhog. Look at it. Oh, my gosh. Look how little that woman's head is compared to her body.
Interesting observations from Alex Jones. Fair use, obviously.
Ho, ho, ho. Teeny Jedi. Actually, is that outside of Jabba's palace? But imagine if you're like, oh, what does your mom do? Oh, she's a top genital mutilation pusher. I'd be like, whoa, get the hell away from me. What do you think tap water is? It's a gay bomb, baby.
Baby.
Little chicken neck psychiatrists behind the scenes flapping their fingers, you know, hoping to screw America over because they'll be manly someday if they can just dominate those big men they see at the grocery store and driving those big trucks. They scare them. So, if I can just dominate the other men on the modern battlefield, here, let me type like they do. Here you go.
What is this? I don't know if I remember this stuff. Look at Alex Jones's face here. I mean, who has this kind of diversity in facial expression ability? I mean, Alex Jones is truly one of a kind. I mean, this is a one of a kind thespian. One of a kind thespian.
Because they're so scared. Oh, God, the Midwest, maybe I've got guns. Oh, God, oh, my God.
Is it just me or is that really funny?
I go, hey, have some of this chicken and sausage. So technically I said, Jones offered me his sausage. Yeah, give me a break, you son of a bitch. She starts shaking. Actually, my uncle said that, and I don't understand it. I go, good, listen to your uncle. I'm sick of it, and I'm tired of it. Your lord and master, Beck, already sunk his ship, and you will sink your ship as well, young one. No need to do that, baby Sith. Even though we've been emaciated and been in the dark so long we could hardly see, we punched you, knocked you to the ground, bit a chunk out of you, and now we're stumbling around with the lights on trying to see, and you're screaming for mama. And here comes a big, fat, giant, 400-pound maggot down the stairs, just slithering in. Pus dripping. Here comes a big, fat, giant, 400-pound maggot down the stairs, just slithering in.
I mean, who has better sound effects than Alex Jones? Austin MP says, Alex Jones should be Hagrid in Harry Potter remakes. I've never seen the Harry Potter movies, but Alex Jones, who thinks there's a role Alex Jones can't play? Pinto Sack says, Bruce, who is your favorite all-time InfoWars host besides Alex? Oh, that's tough. Probably Owen, but, yeah, I don't know. I didn't really like anybody. Owen was kind of alright. Pus dripping out of it, smell of rotting dead children in its belly. There's the big, giant pus worm. Come to save its baby. We're getting our bearings. The light's coming back in our eyes. We weigh about 85 pounds, but you know what? We're fighting for our life, and here comes that big worm. And what are we going to do to that big, giant, stinking worm that smells like dead flesh? It's squealing like a big rat. What are we going to do to that worm? Ben Shapiro is the herpes on our ass. Anything else you'd like to add to that?
Come on, you're not an intellectual. You're a fake and a fraud.
This is one of my favorite clips. Look at this incredible speed from the specimen that is Alex Jones. I mean, he crossed that street in like a quarter second.
Because I'm sitting in the tree going... Because I'm sitting in the tree going...
I mean, his monkey's good too. I mean, that's good stuff. He can play Tarzan.
A chimpanzee can't talk. A chimpanzee can't talk, so they just go... You understand that? I don't care what you think you are, if you think you're a dog or the Easter Bunny or a Keebler elf on PCP.
This is one of my favorites too. A Keebler elf on PCP. Like, where does he come up with this stuff? You know what's crazy? Like, all these comedians and all these goofs, like Joe Rogan, just these terrible so-called stand-up comedians, they spend months and not years, or if not years, on bits. It seems like Alex Jones is just riffing here. Alex Jones riffing is funnier than any stand-up comedian I have ever seen. Like, don't get me wrong, I like George Carlin, but Alex Jones riffing off the cuff is funnier than any stand-up comedian ever. Does anybody dispute that?
From Clandathu. Repent now. Repent. You're a dog or the Easter Bunny or a Keebler elf on PCP from Clandathu. Repent now.
A Keebler elf on PCP from Clandathu or Clandathu. That's very specific. That's very specific. So Clandathu is the home planet of the arachnids in Starship Troopers. We need to go over Starship Troopers one day. I saw that in the theater. That was quite the experience. That was quite the experience.
Repent now. I know your mustache is cool. Well, but it's nice to be sweet to babies. I kill my kids. I mean, oh my God. Oh my God. We're being invaded by South American walruses. Oh my God. Look at this. Orc-like, goblin-like, troll-like people. You don't have mitochondrial DNA.
It's just it's like, how is it possible that he has this kind of diversity? It's like none of these rants are exactly like the others. Like the intonations are different, the characterizations are different, the language is different, the vocabulary is different, the delivery is different, the facial expressions are different. How can he be on the air for all these decades and basically still be original? Like, how is this even possible? How is this even possible?
Hey, Jack, two men having a baby isn't a baby. They have to learn that a creepy man or a bunch of creepy men in bozo outfits coming to teach them when they're 3 about sex, not mommy and daddy, but the government has a plan for you. Men can't have babies. We can, they say. We can fly in the air, too. They're going to have genetically engineered humans. Hello, let's talk about drag queens and other things and our wee-wees. It's okay, though. We're not sexualizing your children. Be open, be loving. Bring in some jihadis now. Oh, why you kill me if I was in the Middle East? That's okay, but come in.
His soy lisp is pretty good too. His soy lisp is pretty good. But I actually he kind of revealed something I hadn't thought about specifically. What if all the psyops about pregnant men and transhumanism is all for the genetically engineered either clones or whatever of males who can get pregnant? Because they're not real humans. They're like these weird transhuman clones with wombs. Maybe that's what the whole Junior psyop was. You know, did I confess something? I've never seen Junior with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I believe I've seen every single other Schwarzenegger movie. Like, Arnold was one of my favorites. Some of his newer ones I didn't see either. They look kind of dumb. But out of his 80s and 90s catalog, I believe I've seen every single 80s and 90s Arnold film except for Junior. It just looked so stupid. Has anybody here seen Junior with Arnold?
You're anti-Christian, come in. Durka Muhammad Jihad drag queen.
Jihad drag queen? What the? What? I mean, where does Alex come up with this stuff?
Telling you you're dirty because you touch your pee-pee when you're a kid or whatever to make you weird and oppressed. But everybody knows what happens to kids that get in the van with you. And they're saying, it's okay, you can file a complaint. I know it's very frightening. Here's your Play-Doh. Blow the atmosphere up. In the carbon. Plants used to grow 5 times faster, like 500 feet tall everywhere. Just oxygen was higher. And commies, please be our gods. They're just like, shut up, filth.
Just the way he can just do all of these different characters on a dime. I mean, it's impressive. It's impressive. Les Zodaphone says T2 Judgment Day was top 5 best movies of the 90s. Oh, that's tough. That's tough. Austin MP says, I've not seen much Arnold, never even Terminator. Oh, man. You've been missing out. Arnold was the man back in the day. Some proper masculinity. Oh, that's cool. Pinto Sack says, there's an old guy in my neighborhood that claims he's friends with Arnold. Showed me pictures from the 80s of them working out together. You know what's interesting? Arnold... They're doing Conan 3, Arnold the King, which should be interesting, because I think most people had given up on that, because it'd been so many years. But yeah, Conan is one of my favorite Arnold movies as well. I mean, he was just born for that role. I mean, I think Arnold was like a little too big. Physique-wise, I think Jean-Claude Van Damme probably had the best physique. Did anybody talk about whether Van Damme was natural? I think Jean-Claude Van Damme's physique is naturally attainable, whereas obviously Arnold is a behemoth. Arnold, but he's also genetic. Like, people kind of overlook the genetic aspect. Like, when you have somebody genetically gifted plus the steroids, then you can get a guy like Arnold. Pinto Sack he says Arnold was just here. Next time he'll invite me over. Hopefully it's not BS. That would be amazing. That would be crazy. Pinto Sack hanging out with Arnold. That's so crazy. The last Terminator was actually pretty decent. I mean, aspects of it. The aspects with Arnold. Actually, speaking of Arnold, we need to do an Arnold clip. I don't know. Maybe this will put a smile on Flat Bob's face as well. This video was making the rounds. I didn't save it, but let's see if I can get it. Alright. Let's see if this works. It's probably got copyright music, but whatever. Let's see. Let's see if this does it. Flat Bob, are you a big Arnold fan? I don't remember. This video is hilarious now. There he is. I don't know why I find this video hilarious. Just like massive Arnold just driving and goofing in a car. Being absolutely massive. I mean, look how lean he is. Lose my cool when she's... Fair use, obviously. I've actually never seen his super quick transition for his poses here. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, just a random funny video of a random day in the 80s with Arnold. Is this the 80s or the 70s? It looks kind of like the 80s, but I guess it might be late 70s, but it's just massive Arnold driving around in his little car. I mean, it's not that little, but it looks little because he's driving it. It's just so funny. I don't know why I found it funny, but I found it funny, people. Does any other channel just switch seamlessly between Arnold videos and Alex Jones? Pinto Sack says, if I meet Arnold, what should I talk to him about? Wow. Got a laundry list of questions for Arnold. Well, obviously, you got to ask him if he's a MindShock listener. And if he would like to be a guest on MindShock. Yeah, see, he never it's kind of tough because when he said screw your freedom, I don't know if that was like a humiliation ritual, but I don't know, it seems like he lost a lot of fans with that one. You could ask him if he sold his soul to Hollywood, but that might be like a weird question, right? He might just punch you in the face. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of questions you could ask him. You could ask him what he thinks about the current state of Hollywood. That'd be an interesting question. Flap-Off says, that's as cool as Dave Scott playing ball with Chuck Norris. Not quite, because Dave Scott actually defeated Chuck Norris in a form of human endeavor, such as basketball. Like, Pinto Sack hasn't even hung out with Arnold. If he does, it might be as cool, depending on how they hang out and what they talk about. Richie Rich with the obligatory, get to the chopper! I'm looking for Sarah Connor. Is she here right now? Yeah, what is with the Mandela effect where it's like, I'll be back now instead of I'll be back? I'll be back. I'll be back. They completely changed it. That's like that's such a crazy Mandela, especially for like everyone that repeated that line like 50 billion times. And the goofs, the coincidence theorists want to believe everybody's wrong. Alex Jones and Uncle Buck. That would be fantastic. The Ant one. Any chance of a Rocky Horror Picture Show analysis? I don't want to actually do the analysis. I can't look at that. For some reason, like I remember when that first popped up on TV or whatever, it just seemed so anti-human. I don't know. My intuition told me to stay away from that one. Definitely told me to stay away from that one.
Sesame Street, Pervert Street.
Yeah, Alex Jones is so quick-witted. It's so hilarious. Can anybody name somebody funnier than Alex Jones? It's not just what he says. It's the delivery. It's his facial expressions during the delivery. Like, let's watch that again.
Mommies, please be our gods. They're just like, shut up, filth. Sesame Street, Pervert Street.
He's so quick with it. He's so quick. Oh, man. Les Xylophone says the Mandela effect is a psyop. How so? I did one episode. I got to do the follow-up episodes. I got way more episodes planned. Les Xylophone, how is the Mandela effect a psyop? Jeff, you One Piece says, sometimes I think that too, maybe to make you believe in timelines universe. When you say psyop, so I've seen it change in real time. Like, that's when Mandela effect, this was before Gematria. Gematria and Mandela effect are the two so-called conspiracy theories that are pretty much the only ones that have really disturbed me. Obese Tuna says Alex Jones is the greatest American to have ever lived. Flap Bob says it was Berenstein Bears. I will literally die on that hill. It sure was, my friend. But here's the thing. I was open to believing I was wrong about it. Because I don't think I had that much Berenstein Bears paraphernalia. But the teachers who taught it in school day in, day out, they remember, because it was the Berenstein Bears. Most people thought it was Berenstein Bears because Stein was more common. Obviously, it wasn't Berenstain Bears because otherwise, kids are kids, right? They would have made fun of that. And so the teacher said everybody used to think it was Berenstein, S-T-I-N-E, but it was actually Berenstein with E-I-N spelling, and they remember that because they had to teach that day in, day out. And so everybody's going to say they're wrong? All right. Anyway, there was also a guy. I don't think I went over this in episode 1 of Mandela. There was a guy that worked in the Ford factory with the Ford logo. Like, he worked there for 20 years, and he said he knows what the logo was, and they changed the logo. And so, like, it was Mandela. Like, all the videos, it's not what he worked on in the factory for 20, 30, 40 years or whatever. Les Xylophone says, remember when George Lucas and Spielberg digitally remastered Indiana Jones? They changed a bunch of stuff, same thing. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about people popping in their old VHS copies, and it's changed on the old VHS in their attic. Yeah, we're not talking about new editions released later. Or like, for example, Tom Cruise in Risky Business dancing with the sunglasses. Like, when, and again, did I play all those videos? I think I did in episode 1, right? I need to re-air episode 1 and get some clips from those. So the reenactments of those were people, like, for example, someone would get it on, there's old VHS reenactments, even from America's Funniest Home Videos, of like people slipping and falling when they did it. We're talking old. We're talking people with those big VHS cameras filming reenactments, and they're doing the exact same dance. So they obviously had the movie on the screen, and they were copying the movement, so they obviously had the same, they were wearing the same thing with the sunglasses. Pinto Sack says, what's your explanation for this phenomenon, Bruce? I went over a little bit in episode 1. I'll go more in episode 2. Again, I don't claim anything is true or untrue. This is MINDSHOCK, where the only thing we know for sure is that we don't know anything for sure. There's definitely funny business going on that's manipulated. So it might be a psyop on top of a real phenomenon, because that would actually explain a lot, right? Then you'd have the built-in plausible deniability that the coincidence theorists could desperately cling to because they're too mentally weak to accept the possibility that reality may be able to be altered. Anyway, so I haven't seen too many references to the Mandela effect prior to CERN, the Large Hadron Collider. Some people brought up a few, but it seems like there really weren't a lot. So that's one possibility. And then I also gave my account. When I was looking into Mandela, I literally had the YouTube, what was it, movie clips YouTube, of Houston, we have a problem. And it wasn't that. They changed it. It's Houston, we have had a problem. And I was like, that's definitely not what it was. But then, as I was clicking to play it, it changed right in front of me. And it changed Houston, we have a problem. And then it changed back. And then that was the first time I looked. I spent about an hour researching it. This would have been maybe I don't remember the year, 2015. It might be 2015. I don't know. Something like that. Maybe even earlier. And I was like, that's enough of that. I didn't look into it for a while. But obviously somebody at YouTube could have been changing it back and forth. That doesn't necessarily mean reality is changing. Pinto Sack says, this freaks me out. Austin MP says, Mandela Effect is a banger topic. Jeff UNP says, We Are the Champions also freaky. Yeah, so here's the thing with We Are the Champions. I played a bunch of those covers, and so musicians are serious. They're not going to make mistakes when they cover songs. I mean, maybe one might, but all these professional musicians and bands, when they all have Of the World at the end of the song, like every single one, do people honestly think they don't have the music in front of them and they don't know the lyrics? They all messed up? Yeah. So, anyway, let's continue this.
Oh.
Peekaboo! You brain damaged her. It's cute.
I don't know why I find Alex Jones so funny. I don't know.
There are lots of ways to
Mow you all down with machine guns with the New World Order.
So cute. Take your cancer viruses.
So yeah, I think Alex Jones would make a great retarded person in movies too, right? Like he could play any role. He's the greatest thespian of all time.
Give the children the vaccine. The faces they would make were so demonic. They'd go, yeah, white bear, yeah. I mean, I call them goblins because they are.
Destroy the child. Corrupt them all.
This is their plan, people. These are demons.
In almost every photo, he goes, I'm just a little old man. And he goes, ice cream.
Bring me 15 hookers now and get the drugs ready and take me to the private island.
15 is a very specific number.
Get the satanic rituals ready. And they tell you at McDonald's in downtown Austin, they show mutated, dead children with pus pouring out of their eyeballs and welts all over their bodies. Enter here at your own risk and doom. And the fools throng, and their subconscious sees it. I am being delivered unto death. I am being delivered unto poison. These are people that had gay sex hundreds of times in coffins, begging for spiritual entities to possess them, and giant pits of feces, and have sex with each other. You're not getting our firearms. Do you understand? This far and no further with your damn dictatorship. I'm sick of it. Excuse me, let me plug back in so I can hear Jakari. Come to America, it's all free, ha ha. The land of milk and honey, the Golden Valley, heaven on earth, Fantasy Island, it's all free, ha ha. Nowadays, if they landed in troop ships wearing pink uniforms, going, tranny, 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 literally everyone would just kneel and go, oh.
This one is a little bit older. Look at him. This one's a lot older, and given the content, I mean, what a prophet.
And just, here are our children, if it's politically correct, don't be racist.
I mean, this must be over 10 years here. And wow, he totally nailed that, didn't he? Let me replay that part.
Just kneel and go, oh. If they landed in troop ships wearing pink uniforms, going, tranny, 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 literally everyone would just kneel and go, oh. And just, here are our children, if it's politically correct, don't be racist. Shooting everybody. I'm Satan, the spirit of the destroyer that is destroying the planet with genetic engineering, mutilating God's creation and vandalizing.
Was that yeah, it's 2015 here. February 2015. This is 11 years ago. Over 11 years ago.
The human species. I'm going to shoot you up with something that's going to kill you down in the hammer. How's a 30-year death from gut disease sound, African children? Roll up the sleeves.
What a psychotic. This guy would be the greatest movie villain ever.
I'm a little chicken neck bastard, and nobody's got the will to see what I am. Just like if you run from a dog, folks, it'll run up and bite you. When these people start growling at you, you go, what are you growling at me for? You think I'm food? I'm not your food. Get that through your stinking narcotics trafficking head. Excuse me. I mean, me personally, see, I'm not like these globalists that are into little kids and stuff. That's what I like. Big, full on, the whole 9 yards, Marilyn Monroe type woman. Just like Snoop Dogg behind the scenes sounds like Urkel. Yes, I got a major business deal going. My evil extends across all time, all galaxies, all dimensions. Look into me one last time. This is Putin. Trump, do as I say. Nigel Farage, do as I say. Alex Jones, do as I say. Italian voters, do as I say.
Man, Alex would just be great in like all of these epic war movies. I mean, there's just so much, man. There's so much. And obviously voiceover, especially like Viking or medieval voiceover or audiobooks. Viking or medieval audiobooks or fantasy audiobooks. I mean, Alex would be undisputed GOAT.
I didn't know what eating feces was. I didn't even know people did that.
Oh, man.
They teach 6-year-olds how much fun it is.
This is like a supposedly professional news anchor. Oh, man.
And guys eating hearts and screaming Allah Akbar. It just always ends the same. That's who she represents. Whether it's rich hillbillies raping some girl almost to death or jihadi hillbillies raping little girls to death, it's just that Hillary produces raped little girls with their insides coming out on the ground. The jihad is here. You are under our control. We kill your women. Ha ha. Cut their genitals off. All the women I know fight like a cross between a crocodile and a mule. He kicked like a mule and bit like a crocodile. And I sit there and see pregnant women in the grocery store or whatever, and I just go, man, I got a headache. I got to get somewhere. Woohoo, yeah, kids, get on the rides over here. Oh, come on down in the air. There's clowns and there's elephants and popcorn, and just stick your arm in here. Oh, don't go away. I'm Bill Maher. But see, I'm not afraid of you, clown. He will get it done just right, and he'll help arrest your Christians and your Buddhists, and he'll help take them from their families, and he'll help cut their livers out and sell them. But it's okay because he's gay, and he wears skinny jeans. Monkeys eat bananas, man. I mean, I'm telling you, folks, it's crazy. Archetypal cocksucker with those little deer-in-the-headlight eyes and all his stuff, and there's something about this fairy hopping around. What the fuck's your problem? You want to sit here and say that I'm a goddamn fucking Russian?
And I think he needs to be confronted with
He's
these
sucking
exact
globalist
words.
dick. Nancy Pelosi's got elephant balls. So I never expected Trump charging into a goblin's nest to not get some goblin vomit and slop and blood on him. I just don't want to catch him in bed with a goblin. But if he's in there rolling around hacking him up and he's got a goblin guide, you know, taking him into the cave, I'm not expecting him to not get dirty, especially up to his ankles. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, having political succubus with goblins. I don't want to see him ingratiating goblins. But if you catch him kissing goblins, or if you catch him in bed with a goblin, that's a problem. If he, say, signs on to the TPP, that's in bed with a goblin. Because we're going to have a new scale here. I'm actually going to have it made digitally where it's on a scale of goblins. Is it charging into a goblin's nest, hacking them to pieces? Or is it just going, around the goblins? Is it kissing goblins? Even though you still stab them, you give them a kiss?
How often does he talk? Does Alex Jones talk about goblins more often than anybody else? Tinted Yumian says Eric Dubé versus Alex Jones. That'd be interesting. Pinto Sack emailed me some photos of this random guy with Arnold. I'm looking at him right now. Wow, this guy's physique is definitely nothing to write home about. But he's got a signed Arnold. Okay. I don't see them working out together, though. Unless that's the first picture of Arnold with the jacket, but...
Or is it catching him in bed with a goblin? And then the final scale... Is Trump going to have babies with a goblin and actually help the New World Order? And
is anybody else discussing the topics Jones discussed? Like as much TDS as there is out there, is anybody else discussing Trump having babies with goblins? I think Alex Jones might be the only one.
Turn against us like Darth Vader.
Alright, what were the other topics? Things to do. Tinted Yumian says Eric Dubé did a video exposing Alex Jones on his YouTube. Recently or a while ago? Because I did a video sort of exposing Eric Dubé. Let me see, I'm checking his channel right now. Alex Jones and David Icke controlled op. From 7 years ago. So yeah, that's a while ago. Do you guys want to look at that, or should we save that for another live Q&A? Jeff U1P says, waiting for the Trump Goblin conspiracy to become reality like all of his theories. Well, I don't know if he was pushing the theory so much as asking questions on that one. Pinto Sack says, the guy got hurt in a fire and Arnold helped him recover and work out. Oh, that's pretty cool. Wow, that's weird. John McClure saying, I went into a library 20 years ago, and the librarian corrected me and told me to look for Berenstain. That's interesting. Wow. Dogface says, first time call, long time listener. You mean commentator? Dogface, welcome. Jeff U1P says he could play Forrest Gump, Horror, The Gladiator, maybe even The Matrix. Oh, Alex Jones as Neo would be fantastic. Les Xylophone says he could okay Gandalf, Lord of the Rings. Austin MP says, Alex as a WWE manager would break the internet. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I said pro wrestling. Yeah, he was made for pro wrestling. Tinted Yumian says, Trump has 1,000-year-old Kabbalah protecting him. Flat Bob says, I want to laugh. Alex Jones isn't going to cut it. Well, you said that first clip made you crack a smile, though. I'm going to play it again for all the new people that might have just got here.
Watch these women.
I don't think this was on anybody's bingo card tonight. It definitely wasn't on mine.
Women start having orgasms when they talk about. Watch these women start having orgasms when they talk about killing babies. We're going to play video. Women like literally rubbing their legs around. Look, these people want to. Video. Women like literally rubbing their legs around. Look, these babies. We're going to play video. Women like literally rubbing their legs around. Look, these people want to rape babies. Okay. Simple. They love Satan. They want to kill babies. They've told me this to my face. I go to Democrat events. They walk up and go, I love Satan. I'm going to kill you. I kill babies.
I like how he just keeps adding those mannerisms and sound effects like way beyond what's necessary. Like he could have easily done it just like once, but he just keeps adding. He keeps milking it.
Kill babies. And you're like, oh, they're just doing that to freak me out. No. We've infiltrated their groups.
And that was like the most serious no I think
these
he's
women
ever done.
Kill you. Oh, they're just doing that. Oh, they're just doing that to. Oh, they're just doing that to freak me out. No. Oh, they're just doing that to freak me out. No. Oh, they're just doing that to freak me out. No. We've infiltrated their group.
Oh man, what a legend! What a legend! What a thespianistic legend! Pinto Sack says Alex Jones is Mr. Belvedere. Dogface says favorite conspiracy. Ooh. Ooh. What do you mean by favorite? Well, if you want the one that freaks me out the most, that was definitely Mandela and Gematria. Favorite. Tartaria is like one of the most interesting for sure. Tartaria, quite interesting. Interdimensional Bigfoot time travelers, time traveling interdimensional Bigfoot from Hollow Earth. That's a cool one. That's a cool one. Bigfoot Terminators. That's what that one conspiracy. What was his name? The video I have the craziest conspiracy theorist ever with like the wildest theories. Is it Nathan something or other? Interdimensional Bigfoot, time-traveling interdimensional Bigfoot Terminators from Hollow Earth. So there's some kind of I don't know if there's some kind of like robotic assassin interdimensional Bigfoot. Nathan Reynolds, yeah, that's the one. Nathan Reynolds. Yeah, when he mentioned time-traveling interdimensional Bigfoot Terminators from Hollow Earth, I thought that was very interesting. I don't know if he exactly mentioned that, or I kind of interpreted what he said about it, but that's kind of what he said. Wasn't that what he said? He said something like that. Because I can't come up with that on my own. I'm not that creative. Dogface says, have you heard the Egypt is Missouri one? No, but I've heard that Utah was Judea, the land of Israel, and that the Grand Canyon was kind of Egypt. Flap Up says, flame-throwing Big Feet. Haven't heard that one. Did we? Did he talk about that? Rodney Thomas says, are there any conspiracies you doubt? Well, technically, I doubt all of them. Are you under the impression that I believe them all? This is MINDSHOCK, where the only thing we know for sure is that we don't know anything for sure. I do not claim anything is true or untrue. But in general, the conspiracy theorists have a blowout on the scoreboard over the authority-worshipping cultist bootlickers, aka coincidence theorists. Those that believe the mainstream official narratives. Because the official narratives are never true, so we might not know what is true. Basically, the only so-called conspiracy theories that I doubt are official narratives. Like the official 9/11 narrative conspiracy. I definitely doubt that one. I'm scientifically skeptical. We talked about that, Austin MP. The Montreal Screwjob, Bret Hart. Oh, did Bret Hart know prior to... I'm gonna guess no. He didn't know. But Shawn Michaels... we talked about that. I forgot which episode did we talk that on. I said I might do a dedicated episode because a few more stories have come out since then. But yeah, back when pro wrestling was fun. So yeah, to answer your question, Rodney Thomas, the conspiracy theories that I doubt are these so-called official narratives on the Idiot Box. The mainstream narratives, the official mainstream narratives, those are the ones that I definitely doubt. Those conspiracies are wild. Dogface says BBLs are actually being filled with alien embryos. Alright, let's go in order here. So, there was a question. Let me go to the top. I said we'd address the questions about... Okay, I missed one of Aaron's comments. Stephen Vincent Benet wrote a nice little short story called The Place of the Gods about a people who are trying to come to grips with the world, our world, that they found. Skyscrapers, highways, etc. Yeah, we should definitely go over that on the Altered History series. Sunlight says, I like when you did street fights. You guys want to watch some street fights? Oh man, that's hardcore. I think we should have a dedicated series to street fights, because that's not everybody's cup of tea. Okay, here it is. Greater Parrot 3 said, any advice for a possible incoming economic collapse? So, the economic collapse has already happened, my friend. And it's been happening. It's been happening exponentially quicker since the 80s. 1972 was one particular line of demarcation, and then it was happening a lot slower pre-1972. So from the 1870s, 1890s, I believe, that was the most prosperous period of the United States, and then things slowly started creeping into corruption and inflation. So yeah, I mean, old is gold, right? And gold is gold. So basically, gold has held its value relative to living wage and purchasing power better than anything else, I think. I mean, I didn't compare all the metals, but yeah, gold seems to always be good. That's why they want to outlaw having X amount of gold, physical gold. A lot of people like Bitcoin. I'm not saying you can't make money with Bitcoin. I'm just saying Murphy's Law, the electromagnetic pulse, the internet might go down, and then what are you going to do with Bitcoin? Now, you might have your backup wallet in some kind of lead-safe shield EMP shielded. You might still have it, so you might be able to access it on your individual device, even if there's no power grid. Let's say you have solar, but if there's no internet, what are you gonna do with it? And most people are not gonna have it in a lead safe shielded, so, or Faraday cage or whatever. So yeah, I think the economic collapse has already happened. Just a lot of people don't realize it. I mean, it's, just, yeah, it's already happened. I think trading stocks is fun. Oh, here's something we didn't talk about. June 4th, they're getting rid of the PDT rule, the pattern day trader. So if you had previous to June 4th, so I don't know when it started, somewhere around 2001 or something like that, or 2004 maybe, where if you have less than $25,000 in your stock trading account, you can't make more than like 7 trades a week or something like that. And starting June 4th, but if you have more than 25,000, then you could day trade. So you could buy, sell, short stocks like hundreds, thousands, infinite times per day. But before, you'd get your account frozen and possibly terminated if you make more than 7, because then you'd get flagged as a pattern day trader. So that law, rule, whatever you want to call it, limitation, it's going away June 4th. So a lot more people can now trade stocks June 4th. And again, this is not a get-rich-quick thing. Like I've talked about it before. It's a way to make lunch money. It's a way to maybe pay 1 or 2 bills if you know what you're doing. Unless you have like $1 million. If you already have $1 million, you could do some serious damage on the stock market. But if you're just a regular Joe, even let's say you have $25,000, if you try to make a lot, that's how you lose. I kind of went over a lot of things on some episodes where we talked about day trading, but I don't know, if everybody wants to do it, we could do some live day trading too. I mentioned it before. So starting June 4th, like you can pull up Robinhood, Webull. These are free brokers. I don't necessarily recommend them because they have very slow executions. But yeah, they're commission free. So not exact asterisks, commission free, fine print, but in general they're commission free. So you could buy 1 share. You could buy a share of a stock that costs $1. It goes up 1 penny. You sell, you make 1 penny. Well, you do that thousands and thousands of times a day, you can make a couple bucks. And then once your account gets bigger, obviously if you have $1 million, you can make thousands of dollars doing that with relatively no risk because you set your stop loss to, let's say, 2 or 3 pennies. So even if you lose a couple trades, you're winning the other ones. So yeah, there's ways to do it safely. So advice for economic collapse. So on the money side, I don't know, maybe look into stock trading. I definitely think, because if Bitcoin Bitcoin has these swings, and I just don't trust it with all the institutional ownership. And it might be a psyop from the get-go, right? Who knows exactly? Nobody even knows exactly how it started. So it's tough. So yeah, I wouldn't trust banks either. I mean, you could have some kind of money in the bank just for ease of use. But yeah, stack those gold bars. What can you say? Old advice is gold, and gold is gold. Old is gold, and gold is gold. That's my message on the economic collapse, that it's not coming. It already happened, and we're in the middle of it. Nothing lasts forever, and the United States won't either. The only question is is it going to continue dragging out in this slow boiling frog death for another 100 years? I mean, I don't think so, just because of how fast technology has been just absolutely destroying Western civilization and collapsing it. Just look at what has happened in the past 5 years. Just 5 years. Like, what's going to happen in another 5? Everybody's just going to be hooked up to these machines in their home, like virtual reality distractions with like some kind of basic UBI. So people don't need to work. AI does everything, and humanity basically gets stamped out in the cities. And the only people truly living are in the rural areas. So, yeah, I guess the second part of that would be get out of the cities, get out of these Democrat murder capitals. Because when everything hits the fan, those are the last places you want to be. I mean, everybody's seen the disaster movies, right? Is that all PSYOP as well? Is that all predictive programming of the mass consciousness to manifest that reality? Were the zombie movies all these experimental medical injections that people got? We don't need to get into the specifics of that. I think YouTube doesn't like that. Was that all predictive programming and mass consciousness manifestation? And now those people aren't even fully human? I don't know. I'm not sure that's true. This is MindShock. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the economic collapse that has basically already happened. I don't know how you can come back from it, because the 2008 crash, the bailouts, that was just plugging holes in the boat. And now there's more and more holes. You can't plug them all, and the old plugs are going to break, and then when it finally goes down, it's going to go down so fast. So fast. And inflation keeps skyrocketing. So yeah, you got to have a plan. Be as sustainable as possible. Do not rely on the government. That's all I got there. Yeah, somebody asked me about this before. The Peru alien attacks. Probably should do an episode on that. I'm going to do one on the Brazil UFO crash, the really famous one. Les Alphon says, what do you think about the OKC event? I'm doing a deep dive on that probably within a couple weeks. I have 10 years of research. Tinted Yumian says the Ethan Guo conspiracy got swept under the rug too fast. Do I even remember that one? Doesn't even sound familiar. Ethan Gu, the youngest person to fly solo all 7 continents. 19-year-old influencer stranded in Antarctica? Huh. He was at a Chilean military base? Wait, so you can't just fly to Antarctica like all the goofs hallucinate? Craig of Fight the Flat Earth actually blocked me on Twitter because I pointed out his illiteracy and not comprehending that the Antarctic treaty prevents any kind of independent exploration of Antarctica. The Antarctic Treaty System governs the rules, and the goof was just spiraling, talking about how certain things aren't on the original first draft of the Antarctic Treaty, which obviously has nothing to do with the Antarctic Treaty System governing Antarctica today. Pinto Sang asks, have you read the Book of Enoch? Yeah, we talked about it. We talk about it occasionally. Yeah, that was my point, Flat Bob. Who would you send it to if all the power goes out? Yeah, that was my point about the Bitcoin. The grid would have to at some point go back up in order for you to even use your Bitcoin. Healthmaster Jedi says, can we talk about germ theory versus terrain theory, which is more logically sound? I don't think YouTube would want us talking about that. Flat Bob says, food, water, and bullets. Stock up. Also, probably one of the most important things nobody talks about is just getting really healthy. Like, just improving your metabolic health. I did a not so brief aside on that on one of the Q&As. I did a clip on health and nutrition on MindShock. You can check that out. On just because the healthier you are, when everything hits the fan, it's not going to be as easy. So if you're a little overweight or just out of shape, even if your weight is okay, your cardiovascular and muscular fitness is not what it should be, get your VO2 max up. That is the best indicator of health and longevity. Pinto Sack says, I'm being forced to go to Vegas soon. Anything I should know about there? What do you mean forced? Oh man, they don't call it Sin City for nothing, my friend. They don't call it Sin City for nothing. Shield your soul, my friend. Shield your soul. Sin City, the capital of narcissism, ego indulgence. The energy there is just, it's something crazy. Have you been there before? And have you been to Atlantic City? Because Atlantic City has quite a bit of a different vibe than Vegas. But yeah, Vegas is Atlantic City is like Vegas light. It's not even Vegas light. It's like Vegas light. Because they have a beach, a boardwalk. You know, there's other things there. I mean, Vegas, the Strip. I'm assuming you mean the Strip. The Strip is just the Strip. And you're going there in the summer? Good luck, my friend. I mean, it might hit 120. Les Xylophone says, can we talk about Uncle Ted? Who's Uncle Ted? Ted, are you talking about Ted Kaczynski? I have an episode coming up on that too. And the connections between Kaczynski and OKC. Yeah, I've uncovered quite a few connections between McVeigh and Kaczynski. I don't think anybody's talked about that before. I don't remember anybody going into that. Rodney Thomas says, a guy on Bloomberg said the U.S. could run out of fuel by July 4th if the Strait of Hormuz isn't open soon. I'm not sure about that. Possibly a new supply, but there's a ton of oil reserves. Not to mention, they could just tap into the Alaska oil, which is, I mean, there's no reason to even rely on foreign oil. I don't know exactly why they don't do that, but... Flap Bob says, we literally have oil rigs in the Gulf and in Texas. There's no fuel shortage. It's all fear porn. Yeah, I don't remember. So, I don't know exactly what the comparison was between Texas and Alaska, though. Supposedly, Alaska has way more oil than Texas. I don't know. Maybe I should double check that real quick. So Texas produces 43% of the nation's crude oil and holds a third of the total reserves. Texas possesses enough oil to sustain U.S. demand for decades. So Alaska's oil has production has declined. But Alaska contains significant untapped oil. Alaska has massive world-class oil. It estimated to hold billions of barrels of undiscovered, technically recoverable oil. So, yeah, but I don't know, for some reason they just don't want to deal with it. I mean, they do some oil, but... Yeah, so it's the untapped... like, I guess, unmarked oil is incredibly significant. So between Texas and Alaska, yeah, the U.S. would have no oil problems. Pinto Sack says, speaking of drilling for oil, just finished season 1 of Landman. Yeah, Landman's pretty funny. It's actually one of the only good new shows that's like really hilarious, but season 2 is not very good. Just spoiler warning. Healthmaster Jedi says, have you ever covered that guy Adam Green who talks about a lot about Israel and he thinks Christianity is like some big psyop? He's not that logical, but was curious if you've ever dissected his content. I'm not sure about him, but I have talked a little bit about that and Christianity itself. I went over that on the Easter conspiracy, the Christmas conspiracy, on how there's a lot that's recycled. You have Nimrod from Babylon, Horus from Egypt, the Mithras cult. You have these figures born of a virgin, raised from the dead, saviors, messiahs of whatever kind. I mean, it's just recycled, and also with very similar imagery, like guy with long hair, whatever. But yeah, and even in Quetzalcoatl in the Americas as this white savior with a cross. So you have this Christ-like figure in many different areas of the world. And then you do have manipulators that might have corrupted whatever religion to make the Abrahamic religions to kind of control people. And the apocryphic texts are very interesting too, but so yeah, like with everything, let's not fall for false dichotomy logical fallacies. It might not be one or the other. I think there's probably a lot of truth in the Bible, even though people manipulated previous religions into currently practiced Christianity. Because, I mean, Jesus didn't have a church. He didn't say you had to go into a building and pray. In fact, he kind of said the opposite, that Christianity is corrupted, and that's why he had to come in the first place, because of all of the corrupt synagogues, etc., and rabbis and all that. Healthmaster Jedi says, what about WW2? Able to talk about that on YouTube at all? I've never really dove into the topic. Wanted to hear your opinion and evidence with receipts. A little bit. So we went over that on 2 different live Q&As on how Mustache Man was a MI5 asset, and the precursor to MK Ultra was Tavistock in Britain, and Hitler actually traveled to Britain, and I went over all the receipts there as well. I believe it was his sister-in-law, because with his brother, did I get that right? I believe he traveled to Britain, maybe London, but he traveled to Britain with his brother, and his brother married a woman, and he was there, and then also his banker was the Duchess of Tavistock, which was the granddaughter of the founder of Tavistock, the MK Ultra precursor, and Mustache Man also had a British handler. I actually brought up all the photos as well. Like, the British royal family actually visited Mustache Man in Germany with receipts. I had all the photos. I'm going to do a clip of that. I have to find which live Q&A that was. If anybody in the chat knows, if there's any MindShock aficionados, I should do summaries in the description of the live Q&As, like after they air, because we never know where we're going to go with that. So I did a pretty big deep dive there, and so Mustache Man's handler supposedly was the one that cost them the war during the Battle of Midway. The Germans had the British dead to rights, and Mustache Man allowed them to retreat instead of exterminating them, and that was basically the turning point of the war. And the only theory on why that was is because his British handler ordered him to do that. So there's a lot of questions there. Dogface says Mustache Man was a Rothschild. Yeah, there's also that angle. So he was perhaps an MK Ultra individual. And then there was even more receipts we went over on how during WW1, Hitler's entire platoon was wiped out. He was taken as a PNW and just let go randomly. And supposedly that happened a second time. So there's receipts for one of them. And for the second time, there's just one photo that's like questionable. Like, it's supposedly real. It's all pre-AI. But it's kind of questionable whether it's him or not. It does look like him in it. So he might have been captured and let go not once but twice during WW1, and he was a nobody back then. So why would they randomly let him go unless he was an MI5 asset or MI6, whatever. And then, of course, there's the whole backstory of WW2 and all of that's crazy. So I did go over that. I'm going to make a clip of all of that because I kind of just summarized it. I had all the receipts for everything I just said. And then, of course, the Bush, there's another clip. I believe I already have this one up as a clip where the Bushes are in a photograph, or rather, HW is in a photograph with Mengele and one of Mustache Man's right-hand man. And then there's also a Nikola Tesla connection there. And I had all the photos and receipts up there as well. So, yeah. There we go there. Alright, let's, Pinto Sack says, you should do a whole show on food and nutrition, etc. Yeah, I have the clip where I kind of went over a lot. I don't know how long. It might be around a half hour, like 20 to 40 minutes somewhere. Maybe longer. I went over a lot on that one. I went over a lot of health and nutrition there. Tinted Yumian says Miami Mall. Yeah, I have that episode coming. Flat Bob says, personally, I don't know why anyone would want to prolong their life in this fallen world. The hereafter is far better. Well, first of all, we don't know anything for sure. Second of all, your body is your temple. Honoring your body, your temple, is, if this place is some kind of test, I don't know if dishonoring your temple is the way to pass that test. But regardless, it's not just about extension, it's about quality. It's about quality. So, okay. That's an interesting point. Dogface says we took Venezuela and somehow paying more for gas. Yeah, like, it's just everything just keeps going up. All right, let's listen to some more Alex Jones for some comedy.
The West is weak. Your women pigs are our.
Oh wait, I played that one. Yeah, I played this one. Let's listen to the next one.
These are demons. Just like the Bible
this
says,
is one of the funniest
it's basically
ones.
an intergalactic
played it
invasion
once,
into
but
this space through people. I'm telling you, it's what all the ancients said. It's what they warned of. It's what we're dealing with. They're demons. They're frickin' interdimensional invaders, okay? I'll just say it. Make fun of me all you want on CNN or wherever, but everyone already innately knows this. Do you support court-martialing people for their religious views? Answer the question. Answer the question!
No. Would you stop screaming?
Answer the question! Answer it!
No. The answer is no. And here's the thing. Yeah.
This guy's so flustered. You don't tell Alex Jones to stop screaming. Like, that's just poor form. Not that he's gonna listen anyway.
I'm just...
It doesn't matter. You can see everything's coming to a head. All you people that love the system, just enjoy it. Just enjoy global depression. Just enjoy the rioting, the checkpoints, the wars, just all of it. It's what you want. And quite frankly, we all deserve it. Never defeat the human spirit. You'll never defeat God. You'll never win.
I think this was like the last, this might be the last great Alex Jones moment. This also looks somewhere around 2015, 2016, maybe 2017 at most. Because he looks kind of different here. Might even be earlier. It might be 2014, 13. Oh, actually, yeah, no, this This text has nothing to do with the video.
I'm not going to get in bed. Never defeat the human spirit.
I mean, this guy's going Paul. This guy's channeling Paul Revere. If that wasn't all a psyop.
You'll never defeat God. You'll never win. I'm not going to get in bed with you.
Come on, Flap Up. Does that not make you laugh? Does that not make you laugh? Welcome, Shifty Eyes Shady. When's the last time you were in here? Healthmaster Jedi, you got so many questions here. A lot of these are probably better for the Flat Earth Live Q&A. Yeah, Jeff U1P says WW1 was for the Banking Act, which gave way to the BIS and later the Federal Bank. Yeah, really, you can't discuss WW2 without WW1. And then on my Real History of the World series, if you haven't checked that out, I did 2 episodes. I was getting into the real World War One. There was like an 8-nation war from 1898 to 1901 or 1902. It's just commonly, it was in China, it's just called the Boxer Rebellion, but they had a ton of countries there. And with photos and receipts. Like, this is from the internet pre-consumer AI. So again, doesn't mean the photos are real, but pre-AI. Because anything that comes out now, it's like really tough. Shifty Eye Shady, I got sober from drugs and alcohol and started studying for the bar exam again. Congratulations.
Because you don't love the spirit of justice. You'll never win! I'm not going to get in bed with you. Because you don't love the spirit of justice. You love your father, the devil. Excuse me. I apologize. We have a family audience. That was wrong, and I won't do it again. Right now, I'm out of control. And humans could look up and see the stars and invent systems to track them and literature and art and everything. And look what we've been turned into, because we're all being killed by the softness, killed by the domestication. No, I want to kill it. I want to chop it up. I want to pour gasoline on it. I want to throw it in a trash can because it's not alive. It's dead. I mean, that is the abomination. That is the Antichrist right there. I know they staged those terror attacks. You know what it's like to gut up to this and go out every day and go past the peer pressure and come out day one and say 9/11 was an inside job and lose most of the radio stations I was on. You know what it's like to go to sleep every night knowing you work for a bunch of psychotic killers and you bastards are probably going to end up killing me one day. You know what it's like knowing you've ruined my life. You know what it's like, you sons of bitches.
I mean, how often does he get that candid, though? I mean, he might have potentially not been compromised here. Like, I've given my theories on Alex Jones. I'll give it again for anybody who hasn't heard them. I think it's very possible. So, one of the strangest things about Alex Jones is straight out of high school, he gets his own radio show. That's a little weird. Call me crazy. I mean, this isn't, YouTube land where he just starts a podcast with 0 viewers. Like, he gets an actual radio station and a radio show right out of high school. Like, that's kind of strange. Then the whole Bohemian Grove thing, I think, would he question it, though? So when you look at the success of, like, 19-year-olds, like, in Hollywood or wherever, when they're not in on it, like, they're given this huge opportunity, they just run with it, right? Like, who thinks on 19-year-old Alex Jones? I mean, maybe. I don't know. Do you think he would say, well, this is super sketch? This is sketch. I don't know. But I think it's possible he wasn't compromised at the beginning. Then he became compromised either around... So Bohemian Grove, like, the amount of people Alex Jones has woken up is crazy, right? Like, shill or not. I think everybody has to admit, Alex Jones has possibly woken up more people than anybody. I mean, yeah, Bill Cooper's the original OG. Well, Serge Monast, actually. Shout out to Serge Monast, the Canadian conspiracy theorist, first one to massively report on Project Bluebeam, on the trans agenda in the 1980s. Shout out Serge Monas, no longer alive. They arrested him. He spent one night in jail, came home, died the next day. Serge Monas, the true OG. Then came Bill Cooper, also the American OG. He's no longer alive either in a very shady circumstance. And then we have Alex Jones. But Alex Jones, no doubt, was the most popular, the most listened to, the most watched. And he's woken up the most people. Gatekeeper or not, shill or not, it's kind of hard not to give him credit, right? And what's weird about Alex Jones is if he was a shill, like why would he be like it's kind of weird. It's almost as if he was an unwitting, useful idiot tool of them, right? Now, I don't know exactly what happened, so this is my theory. It's not that, it's the Bruce McGuire theory. I am not claiming it is true in any way. And I still have to do the Matthew North episode. By the way, Matthew North supposedly no longer alive either after exposing Alex Jones as a shell. It was either 2009 or somewhere around there, or early 2010s, maybe all the way up to 2014, somewhere around there. I forget. Somewhere between 2009 and 2014, I believe. Don't quote me on that. So was Alex Jones legit? And then Bohemian Grove was his chance to blow it all wide open, and he did. And then he even didn't he confront like senators or something in DC? Like I remember a random street interview. We have to go over that. I'm not going to go over it now, but we have to do an episode on that. But I might have even gone over that clip on a previous, like years ago. I forgot which episode. I think I might have actually gone over that, and then something happened. I don't know if it was 9/11, after 9/11. Something happened at some point, and then he became compromised. Then, or maybe even before 9/11. Then, did he get so sick of himself for being compromised, he said, screw it, and he became a true patriot after that, and that's why the Connecticut thing happened. Again, I'm just thinking out loud. And now he's just super reserved. Maybe in his own mind he's not a shill, but he's still following the shill playbook just in case. That's just one of my theories. One of my theories. And if he is controlled op, it doesn't mean he was controlled op the whole time. Maybe he was designed for it. Maybe he was MK Ultra and he doesn't know about it, and he's having a battle with his own fractured psyche. But I don't know, like, who's this good of an actor? I mean, let me replay this part again. Who's this good of an actor? And keep in mind, he hasn't done anything this heartfelt in a long time.
Up to this. I know they staged those terror attacks. You know what it's like to gut up to this and go out every day and go past the peer pressure and come out day one and say 9/11 was an inside job and lose most of the radio stations I was on? You know what it's like to go to sleep every night knowing you work for a bunch of psychotic killers and you bastards are probably going to end up killing me one day? You know what it's like knowing you've ruined my life? You know what it's like, you sons of bitches? I'm tired of your crap. You commit evil, you're part of an evil system, and we're standing up against you. And the Republic is going to defeat you in the end. Some of us won't make it personally through this, but a lot of us are. And in the end, you are going to be brought to justice. Dead.
He does. I mean, look at him now. Like, it's almost like some people actually think it is a completely different guy. Did they kill him and replace him with a shill because he went off script and didn't want to be a shill anymore? Dogface says, doesn't he always mention that his grandfather was a spook or something? Yeah, he might have been MK Ultra. He might be some kind of clone, but okay, just using basic intuition. See, the thing with David Icke, something is off about David Icke, right? Does anybody, like, shill or not? Again, I'm not claiming he is or isn't a shill. If you haven't checked out the episode Conspiracy Shills, JR and I actually break that down, but something seems off about David Icke. Some people actually think he's a reptilian or he looks like a reptilian, but either way, something is off about David Icke. Nothing ever really seemed off to me about Bill Cooper. Nothing, I mean, and there's not that much footage of Serge Manas, but he doesn't seem off either. Call me crazy, but OG Alex Jones does not seem off. Like, he seems like he genuinely believes all of this. Again, it could be wrong. I've spent many years studying microexpressions and all of this. Again, if he's like high level MK Ultra, that none of that matters. But I mean, it would appear that he was definitely way more high level than anybody else. Pinto Sack says, voice definitely rougher and deeper now. Yeah, I mean, after screaming on the radio for decades. I mean, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about his energy and his conviction. Like, yes, every now and then he'll have something heartfelt, like he's speaking from the soul. But back in the day, like that little rant we just heard, is that truth? Does that seem like truth from the heart, from the soul? As someone who's devoured countless thousands of hours of conspiracy information, to me it does. I'd have to lean legit. On the other hand, there's plenty of other moments. The whole Trump thing was really weird with Alex Jones. Definitely. The whole flat earth thing, the Tartaria thing. I mean, everything since that lawsuit. See, I think the old Alex Jones, he would have doubled down on the Connecticut incident, right? But the new Alex Jones didn't really. That's a huge red flag. Like, I don't know what to think about Alex Jones post-Connecticut incident lawsuit. Jeff U1P says he could have a split personality for no... Well, MK Ultra people do. They have multiple personalities, but... Healthmaster Jedi, have you done a deep dive on Freemasonry? Not a super dedicated deep dive, but I did go into it quite extensively on the Hollywood Humiliation Ritual episode at the beginning. But anyway, there's a huge difference between Alex Jones now and the Alex Jones of old. The Alex Jones of old, I really don't know if I could say he's a shell. I don't know if I can say it. The new one, definitely maybe. I think it's possible he went back and forth. Again, call me crazy. I think it's possible he may have went back and forth.
Dead. That means dead. That means not breathing. That means blood running out your ass. I like to fight too. I like to eat. I like to have children. I'm here. This is their plan, people. These are demons. Just like the Bible says, it's basically an intergalactic invasion into this space through people. I'm telling you, it's what all the ancients said. It's what they warned of. It's what we're dealing with.
Like, even this one's a little bit more questionable than the old ones. Like, maybe. Here, I can't really tell. It's potentially genuine, but I can't tell. It could be performative. But the older clips just have a different energy.
They're demons. They're frickin' interdimensional invaders, okay? I'll just say it. Make fun of me all you want on CNN or wherever, but everyone already innately knows this. These people are not frickin' humans. The paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature.
This one's a lot more genuine. This one I'd have to lean genuine.
Be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it. Just about 40 yards behind me is Mexico. That is the famed Rio Grande River. There are the agricultural workers right back there. We'll show you that here in just a few minutes. Are already being trafficked, whose families owe money to the cartels in Central America. These are mainly Guatemalan and South Salvadoran and others that are now coming in. That's why the Mexican president has come out and said, Biden should stop saying surge the border. This is killing a lot of people in Mexico, a lot of people in the U.S., and a lot of Mexicans are having their children kidnapped because Psaki and others in the administration say you got to have a 10-year-old kid or younger, and then we'll give you an envelope full of money, debit. Call me a woman.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
I'm a
ma'am.
woman. Give me your children. Let them sit on my lap.
Like, even this, it's just got the... Again, I'm not claiming he's shill or not here, but the energy isn't quite the same, is it? Like, this could potentially be performative. Again, I'm not doubting the thespianism. I'm actually saying this would actually increase the thespianism level. But the OG clips, like the old clips, just have a completely different energy about them.
On your show, is your allegation that government officials are aiding in pedophilia, child trafficking, and the grooming of children, right?
You mean like what Jeffrey Epstein did with the Clintons?
This is still one of the funniest clips. Not because of what happened, it's absolutely tragic, but shoving it in the goof coincidence theorists' faces is so hilarious. And the expressions here. Like, what can they possibly do? Like, look at these goofs. Look at these scum, these statist scum. They don't even know what to do with that. They don't even know what to do with that.
Bring me a dream. Bum, 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 bum.
Fair use, obviously.
Bum, 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 bum.
That frog bit was pretty good, though.
Yeah, living. That's what it's about. I'm out here bathing in the night. Forest bathing. Oh, yeah, one more. 17, 76. More, fan it up. Fucking eyes.
On the other hand, just to play devil's advocate for a second, if you've been involved in the conspiracy sphere for so long, and you've just looked at all of this just deviant, corrupt material for decades upon decades, is just this the natural progression of your personality would take? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's that simple as just shill or not shill.
Let me show you what I came here with in my notes. I have right here in my notes the carbon conspiracy, and that is specifically.
So Jeff Hunt says, control the right side and hold the line appears to be his job. That's what I see a show. Well, here's the thing. Back in the 90s and early 2000s, I mean, he was actually against George Bush. Like, he was kind of against everybody, right? I mean, it was just a completely different... He was just against the government, period. And then his whole endorsement of Trump and voting and all... That was just so weird. But is he simply a broken man now? Let's not fall for false dichotomies. Did he simply become a broken man and that's why he looks like a shell? But yeah, watch him in the 90s and early 2000s. Like, he's not... He's against everybody in the government.
What I wanted to get into here with you in my notes, because this is everything. I've got a meme here that I put in my stack and I've lost. But man, does it say it all. Can't find it now. We are now living in the first stages of the end of civilization as we know it. But the atheists and the establishment, they want to be God. They want to say, there's nothing in the world but the Black Pyramid. There's nothing in the world but the Madison Avenue. There's nothing in the world but Times Square. There's nothing in the world but the women on the TV shows putting makeup on themselves and running around narcissistically. And these disassociated, disconnected children, artificial sociopaths, brought up like robots.
I mean, this is old here. This might be pre-2010 here. It definitely looks pre-2012, right? And it's kind of curious here. Like, he's so prophetic. Now, obviously, if he's being used as a shill without... Because he's got sources, obviously, as like all these sources feeding him info. He has no way of knowing if there's somebody controlling those sources, right? Like, obviously the information was good. Like, nobody can point to anything that Alex Jones has said that was wrong. Even the incident in Connecticut, he's talking about a staged incident. He's not talking about nobody dying or whatever. He's talking about it being staged. So, and there was, I don't really want to get into that right now, but who remembers that first news report where there was like one or more guys being chased by a helicopter in black tactical gear that ran from the school? And then also they had all these, wasn't there like was it a FEMA drill? There was some kind of drill going on coincidentally in that same town. But anyway, nobody can ever point, like, let's just put the Connecticut incident aside. What has Alex Jones ever said that wasn't true? And the other thing people point to is the Y2K. The Y2K thing. And I've addressed that a million times. There is a conspiracy that Y2K did knock down defense systems. But the weird thing, like coincidence theorists, they're so mentally deficient. Do they expect the government to admit that happened? Like, how do they expect anybody to verify that? Because Jones did report on that, and supposedly it was inaccurate. But I found other stuff. I don't remember where. Was it the above top secret forum? It's somewhere online. People, like during Y2K, people did post links. There was like a whistleblower, and they said systems did go down. Defense systems did go down on Y2K. Like, obviously the main power grid didn't, but supposedly there were some defense systems that went down, and they, like, why would they ever admit that the U.S. was vulnerable during Y2K? Les Xylophone says, I watched it with my mom. The school had asbestos and was closed. Well, yeah. There's actually minutes reports of all that. Like, it supposedly wasn't open. There's no Christmas decorations in most of the photos. I know they released photos like years and years and years later that possibly had some, but everything released originally did not. And somebody even dug up Google supposed satellite images or whatever, maybe the planes that fly over. Year after year, that parking lot was empty day in, day out for like the previous 1 or 2 years. But anyway, let's continue. Doesn't mean the event didn't happen.
Unable to even commune with fellow men and women in kinship and honor. And I'm pretty good with my facial expressions. I couldn't look that evil as him going. Hissing.
I mean, can you imagine old Alex? Like, old Alex Jones was just, like, when I say old, I mean like OG. Like, obviously he's old now. It wasn't the same. Like, the energy was different. I don't know.
All of a sudden he'll be like, and he'll go. I can't make the face. And it goes right back to normal. Look, here's the thing.
Fine. Listen,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Fair use, obviously.
I want them to have a future. I'm in their face because I love them. Don't you get that?
Yeah, this was like the last time he had this kind of like real energy.
It's God's creation. It's the same in every culture. Humans know this. And it is a psychological, spiritual virus that has been injected into our species to destroy us. I'm a guy that takes depressants, not pills, alcohol, because I can't handle the truth.
Yeah, this might have been one of the last good ones. This is from a few years ago. This one, he actually has the similar energy here in this clip.
And I know that's the issue. I can't handle how alive I am right now in the fight against these tyrants.
Yeah, this was definitely one of the last. There was like 1 or 2 in the past couple years where he kind of brought that same energy. This is one of them.
And how hard I'm going to push to go after him because I'm so full of life and so full of resistance to these murdering pedophiles that want to get in the way of God's plan. It's a big...
I mean, can you, like, if... He really hasn't done that in a while.
joke to them that they're poisoning your water supply and that your children are deformed and get cancer when they're 10 years old. Because it's a big joke to the New World Order, all the things they're doing to you and how childlike you are. These Nazi blood-sucking anti-American parasites that want to make you and your family slaves know that we are standing up against them and we are red-blooded and we are not slaves.
I mean, look at the energy. I mean, this is like Paul Revere energy. Like, I don't know, call me crazy. Like, there's certain energy that it brings forth that just seems very, very genuine.
And we are not bowing down to them. I'm not bowing down. I'm at the tip of the spear. I get death threats every day. And you know what? I am honored to be who I am. I'm honored to just be an average person that stood up 15 years ago and said, I'm going to defend the Republic. I'm going to defend the family. I'm going to defend the Second Amendment. I'm going to fight against abortion.
I mean, this guy, like, is this the greatest patriot ever or simply a shill? I don't know.
I'm going to see what happens when I really take action, and we have laid waste to the enemy. If you simply unloose yourselves and become the leaders you are, we will sweep this scum into the gutter. We will defeat the New World Order. We will crush the tyranny.
But he doesn't have the same energy anymore. It's almost like he got defeated, right? I mean, obviously, we see a little bit of glimmer like we saw in that other video where he's older, but it's like, it's almost, I feel kind of bad for saying this, but it's almost like they won and they took the fight out of him. All right, yeah, we're wrapping up as well. Pinto Sack, we'll be wrapping up in a few minutes, but yeah, catch you next time.
Second hour, straight ahead, stay with us. Because you know, at a cellular level, I'm gonna break your neck.
Oh man,
you know it. Why you don't like me?
Give them their pleasure. I'm going to cram a gun in their mouth and see how they like it. Because I'm free. And it's been in my family history to fight. And I'm not your slave. So get it straight. And we're ready. You can nerve gas us all day. We're ready to rock. And the people are waking.
I mean, look at the life in his eyes. I mean, I really don't like saying this, but is it possible they actually broke him? Like, not completely. Like, he's got a little bit of fire left. But it almost seems like they broke him.
Up. Because some of us are willing to spill our blood for the sacrifice. You hear me, scum? We're coming for you.
And that's why it's going to continue going on week after week, month after month, year after year. The joke's on you. What's scary? Somebody in some clown makeup?
Jeff U1P says probably threatened his family. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. But they probably did that a long time ago, right? Dogface says, I found your channel looking up Columbine vids for some reason, then went to watch the Stern videos, then saw you were live. I like what it doing here. I'll be back. Yeah, catch you next time. Yeah, there's a few thousand videos for you to peruse, my friend.
Because that can get your attention. That freaks you out at a primitive level. I'm fighting all the way. I'm energized. I'm awake. I'm not dead. People ask me how the hell I could have so much energy when I come in here, and I'm not like this in person. They're creating a world government mark of the beast. 2.2 billion people just got told they can't use certain words. They're announcing giant...
Yeah, I don't want to say they took the fight completely out of him, but like he's still got a little bit left, right? He's still got a little bit left. But it does seem like they definitely demoralized him and took a lot of the fight out of him because he doesn't have these kind of moments that often anymore.
Like brainwashing. They're teaching 5-year-olds how to suck cock in public school. They're sitting there doing everything you could ever freaking imagine, killing babies after they're born. And the churches are such Pharisees, they're worried that I just talked about sucking cock instead of killing babies and chucking their damn organs out. It's like they say in
Jeff U1P says, I think they cranked the pressure up then that it got serious or something. That's just feel. You know what, Jeff U1P, reading it phrased like that, I think you might be onto something. I think they wanted him small time as possibly controlled op that didn't know he was controlled op. So they were leaking through the sources. They were leaking him info that they wanted him to put on the air, and specifically not leaking other things. So if they controlled all or most of his sources, he was an unwitting shill, right? And that's obviously always better, because then you don't have to worry about the guy getting drunk and spilling the beans about being a shill or whatever, if he's being used kind of like as a useful idiot. And then perhaps Alex Jones just got way bigger than they were comfortable with. And then that's where things got weird. John McClure says, Alex freaks me out on a primitive level. Or, like, Alex Jones got so big he started developing his own sources and contact, and perhaps he was growing larger than they can control. But, yeah, no doubt. I mean, there have been threats to him and his family from the get-go. I'm assuming he knew that was going to happen. Jeff Hunt says he probably has a contract being called up. The mob rule is Roman. Nothing new under the sun. Yeah, I think this is just way different than being a shill or not shill. Like, for example, David Icke. I think David Icke, it's a lot more simple. Either he's a shill or he's not a shill. But there's something weird about him, right? Like, right. I mean, he's been right about a lot of stuff, but there's just a weirdness with David Icke.
Full Metal Jacket, they also say it even better, Apocalypse Now. Apocalypse Now, he says, we dropped napalm on a village. You want to fight? Better believe you've got one. You want to enslave my spirit? No! And I'll call on God to protect me and use me however God sees fit. And if I'm destroyed, my whole family with it, I don't blame God. I blame the stinking trash. Who will pay?
I mean, who would admit that? That he's... I mean, he basically... I wonder if that was one of the points of demarcation there as well, after he said that. That if his whole family's destroyed because of his pursuit. John McClure says, I watched Alex on Open Channel in Austin back in the day. I'm convinced the original Alex was replaced, but very early on while he was still at Open Channel. Wow, that's interesting. You think he was replaced in the 90s? Because I think most people actually say somewhere around, like anywhere between 2015 and 2020.
Fun is laughing right back at these psychopathic bastards and telling them that we know exactly who they are and exactly what they're doing and exactly what's going on in their souls, and that we see right through their facade. You know why they call him the Joker? Because it's a big joke to them, and that's why it's going to continue going on week after week, month after month, year after year. The joke's on you. What's scary? Somebody in some clown makeup? Because that can get your attention. That freaks you out at a primitive level.
Oh, man. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. But I don't think, like, Alex Jones' conviction seems sincere in most of these. Flat Bob says, I'm bored of Alex Jones. We're wrapping it up anyway. It's getting late. Dogface, these are just random compilations I found. So, yeah, they're pretty good. I mean, I have countless hours of them. We've gone over so many countless hours of Jones. On Rockfin, I have, like a 5.5 hour mega mix, like a music mega mix with Jones. You could check that out. Or actually, is it even on Rockfin? It might not be on Rockfin anymore, but I think it's on Rumble. So, yeah, thanks again, everybody, for joining us. Plenty more to come. And yes, I will try to get that Columbine FBI documents part 2 before the end of the month. So, yeah, if you want to help support the MindShock podcast, you can do it to our PayPal. Check the link in the description. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share. Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Patreon. This is Bruce McGuire signing off. Catch you guys next time.